What's up, everyone? What is happening? Okay, so a representative, Brian Sims, by the name of Brian Sims, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is on the fire right now. There's a massive protest going on. Before I start, please like, comment, share, hit the bell, subscribe, help me grow my channel. Now I'm going to go to a YouTube video, and I'm going to show you why he's on the fire and exactly what is happening. Keep in mind there will be glitches in the screen because I want to be consistent and continue to be lazy instead of figuring out exactly what I can do to solve the glitching problem, which everyone is telling me is actually very simple, and I'm just too damn lazy to do anything about it. Okay, okay, here we go. Let me get the video going.
Representative Brian Sims here, and I'm once again out in front of Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania. Today's protester, now, she is an old white lady who's going to try to avoid showing you her face. Shame on you. What you're doing here is disgusting. This is wrong. You have no business being out here. These are the kind of attacks that we can expect on Planned Parenthoods in the current administration. Shame on you, man, for standing out here thinking you know what's right for other people's bodies. And don't convince yourself that what you're doing isn't extremely racist. How dare you? This is grotesque. This is the hiding, shameful...
All right. Racist in what way? She's just standing there. There's no indication that any of this has anything to do with race. She was out there protesting Planned Parenthood, nothing to do with race, even though they kill more black babies than pretty much anything else. It's like one of the leading causes of death in the black community is not even being born, apparently, according to all the numbers coming out about the abortions provided to black women from Planned Parenthood. But how did he make a connection with racism? And he, he says, oh, look, it's an old white lady. And, again, what does the skin color have to do with anything? Why can't you just get to the point in whatever your grievance is with the woman who's out there praying and, leading a single a quiet protest against Planned Parenthood, which is actually her constitutional right. So to say she has no right to be there to protest, she has every right. It's a constitutional right. So, I mean, he just starts off on the wrong foot from the beginning. He just got triggered because he saw somebody with a different opinion than himself, especially since it's an older woman and she's no threat to him. So he had all the balls in the world to go over there and pretty much harass her is really what he did. Let me get back to the video. Now, as you can see, that that very same Planned Parenthood that he spent something like 7 years volunteering to work for this Planned Parenthood, despite the fact that they had multiple, something like 13 out of 20 something violations they're accused of, having not having clean facilities and stuff like that. There was reports of badly stained floors and chairs and seatings and stuff like that. The rooms weren't really prepped. The instruments weren't really sterilized. Also, they failed to report multiple sexual abuse charges where the victims were like 13 years old and maybe possibly even younger. They failed to report many of these cases. But Planned Parenthood is the number one abortion provider that's constantly asking for more tax-paying money, and they can't even keep up with health codes, and they don't report young girls being abused. But more importantly is the old white woman who is exercising her right to quietly protest this wholesale abortion clinic. Okay, now here's another issue. First of all, you can clearly see. Okay, you have the older woman. When he walks over to them, he throws like a white comment. He's like, "Oh, look, white people again," or something like that. Clearly Democrats are. Well, I should say progressive. Clearly, he's a progressive. They have a huge problem with white people. They hate white people, and when they are white themselves, it just makes it even more bizarre. They're the self-loathing white liberals who are shameful of themselves. They hate being their own kind. In one of these two videos, he says something about we've done enough. Don't you think white people owe it to other people? He made some comment, I guess referring to history and slavery and everything that's happened in the past, that we supposedly, that we should be shameful to be white and that we owe other people. I guess, I don't know what his solution is, that we're supposed to live for other people because of history, which it just makes no sense. I mean, as a Jew, I don't expect any Germans to live for me. I don't expect them to have to pay me, reparations. I don't expect them to have to apologize to me. I also don't expect, all, Islam, Muslims throughout the centuries that did what they've done to Jewish people to have to apologize to me, and they don't owe me anything. I don't expect any of Europe that oppressed Jews for hundreds of years to have to pay me back or to live for me or to treat me in any, special way to even the odds because of history. It's just nonsense, complete nonsense. And then he says to these, $100 to anyone who will dox these. These are little girls. These are underage girls. They're teenage girls that are out there protesting. They are, it's a religious protest. They were out there praying. They stand against Planned Parenthood. Again, this is their constitutional right to do so. He goes over there, just by saying, to dox them, to encourage doxing of these young girls, knowing that can incite serious implications against them. Like, what if they are doxxed? What if I dox these girls right now and then somebody shows up at their house and hurts them or tries to burn the house down? Or what if they're sexually assaulted? What if they're kidnapped? What if anything happens to one of these young girls because I doxed them, because Brian Sims said he's going to give me $100 to dox them? Now, forget about him giving the money. Just by him throwing it out there and making that statement already puts these young girls, at risk of someone doxing them and then someone going out there and actually doing something to them. Not to mention the level of harassment that these women can receive by being doxxed in the first place. So he's potentially endangering the lives of minors. If you ask me, I would assume, I don't know, if it's illegal. I don't know if that was an actual crime. It seems like it is. It seems like there is potential for, at the very least, some kind of harassment charge against him. This is a man that definitely needs to either resign or there should be, you talk about impeaching Donald Trump. I mean, this is the easiest impeachment ever. He should be pulled into the House where the House in Philadelphia, where he's a representative, or at least in Congress, and they should have a vote on just removing him after something like this. And I couldn't see a female, in politics, or in the Congress or in the state or anything, in the House, in the Senate, whatever the case may be. I couldn't see a woman being okay with the fact that Brian Sims is harassing women, telling women what they should do and shouldn't do. After it's funny because he's like, his logic is so flawed where he's like telling people don't tell women what to do with their bodies while he's over there telling these women what they shouldn't do and what they should do. So, but to do something like this, and to put these women's lives in danger is a very feminist thing to do. He should be out there, congratulating these girls for taking a stance and standing up for what they believe in. It doesn't matter if it's on a different, political side than him, right? It's all about women empowerment, right? That's feminism, right? So here these girls are, exhibiting women's empowerment by stepping out there and doing something. So that's what they should be congratulated for, whether you agree with them on the abortion issue or not. But Brian Sims thinks that they are disgusting people, and he's out there to tell them so. As a white man, here he is, white mansplaining to women who are higher on the oppression list than him. But then again, he kind of sounds like he might be gay. He has like that gay sound. What is a gay sound? We all know what a gay sound is, right? He kind of sounds like he might be a little swings that way. So maybe he gets a point in, this is all progressive rules, by the way, not my rules, but, maybe he gets a point in the oppression scale or something. He gets like a star by his name or something because he likes men. So maybe he's equal to women. Maybe that's how they see it. I'm not sure who comes first, women or gay men, in the whole, in the oppression Olympics. I don't know what sport comes, which is a higher value sport, being gay or being a woman. I don't know which one is more worthy of the gold in the oppression Olympics. Let me get back to the video. Bunch of white people.
There's nothing Christian about what you're doing. Nothing Christian at all about what you're doing. I asked my colleagues how it was that in a room of nearly 160 men, I was the man that respected women the most.
Well, there you have it. I mean, that's just a small, that's just a small thing about Brian Sims. Just a small take on what's happening with him as of recently. Now, there is a protest going on in Philadelphia. I don't know who's like the founder of this protest or who put it together, who organized it, but I do know that Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire they're involved. They're there. And a few other YouTubers, matter of fact. That girl that I like, I can't remember. No, I'm sorry. I feel so ashamed. I'm so bad with names. Caitlin something, Kate something. The hot chick with the gun. She went on the college campus with the gun. She's with the Liberty Hound, I think. I watch her videos on YouTube all the time. I like her. I can't believe I can't remember her name. I feel so stupid right now. But she's out there, and quite a few other YouTubers are out there, and they're now protesting not only against Planned Parenthood. They're calling for Brian Sims to be removed, and he's nowhere to be found, by the way. And he supposedly lives over there, and he won't come out and face anyone. He won't come out and have a conversation with no one because he's a coward. He has no problem approaching an old white lady, and telling her how he feels. He has no problems, approaching a woman with 3 daughters or 3 teenage girls that she's there to protect. And approaching a woman is that's the easiest thing to do. Typically most women have a little fear with a man because if the argument leads to a physical confrontation, which women don't want that to happen, what are they going to do? How are they going to prevent me from hurting one of them, right? So women don't want to have that confrontation with a man, because if it turns ugly, it really turns ugly for them, not really for us. It's like a losing battle for them. It's like if someone, the size of Andre the Giant or something, or Shaquille O'Neal wants to fight me. It's like, what am I going to do? This is a huge guy. I don't want a confrontation with a guy like this, not if I don't have a weapon. And many people, even if they had a weapon, many people are afraid to even use it if they had to. So, these women, they're either remaining quiet or they're walking away, like these girls did. They're walking away from him because they don't want a conflict. They were there to just to have a public protest against Planned Parenthood, where they were quiet, they were praying, they really weren't causing any issue. And here comes Brian Sims chasing them away. But now when there's this large protest of people out there, and they're like, hey, Brian Sims, why don't you come down and talk to us? He's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found. Now he's a coward. Now he can't intimidate anyone that's over there, so he won't come out and speak, and he's just going to hide his head in shame. I think the real shameful thing, part of all this, is that in Philadelphia, that he was actually voted into that position. The shameful thing of all of this is that, knowing the type of person he is and listening to him speak, and watching interviews and watching times that he give any kind of lectures and hearing what he has to say, and you're still voting for a person like this. And now the shameful thing is going to be if he remains seated, or if he's even reelected. This is the real shamefulness in all of this. He just gave you a classic presentation of what the far left radicals are, what the progressives are, with their postmodernism and their Marxism, and that's what the progressives really are. They're really they're really socialists, and amongst other things, the whole progressive name is just provides the cover for their true agenda. Planned Parenthood sucks, by the way. It needs to be defunded, ASAP. So, okay, well, let me know what you think. Please, if you're out there, listening to this, the more that we the more that we take a stance against people like Brian Sims, the stronger we can become if we get involved one way or another. So like, this is me getting involved, making a video about it. Whoever's out there watching, do the same if you can. Either make a video, talk about it, get some attention to it. I was never a big, write letters type of to your congressman and stuff like that, because I know it pretty much goes nowhere. But fuck it, write letters to your congressman or some shit. I don't know, but figure out some way. You know what they should do? They should go find. They should dox Brian Sims where he lives. Is what they should do. I mean, he thinks it's okay for him to want to dox young teenage girls. They should dox him, and they should show up to his house. Actually, and they should bang on his door. Maybe kick his door open like Antifa did to Tucker Carlson. They should do the exact same treatment that the far left does to anyone who steps out of line. They should do, this is what members of the right should do. The people who are protesting should do against Brian Sims. It should not be a peaceful protest. Although I always call for a peaceful protest, but it just seems to be, unfair that we're the only ones that have peaceful protests. We're the only ones that are willing to have a peaceful protest. The other side doesn't have to have one. And it doesn't matter. They won't be called out for being violent. Instead, will be called out just for existing. So maybe we should just do exactly what the left does. We should find out where Brian Sims lives, and we should show up to his, they should show up to his house, to his apartment. And, I mean, it probably won't be hard to find him. He's probably the one that has like that huge, rainbow flag by his window or something that says like kill all babies and be gay or something like that. They should just find his house, and they should do exactly what the left would do if it was us, and show them what that feels like to be violated. To be violated is exactly I guess what should happen to him, so he can understand how serious this is, and to understand that this is why you shouldn't call people out like this, and you shouldn't ask for anyone to be doxxed, and you shouldn't try to violate people's constitutional rights. This is why you shouldn't do that. Give the left a taste of their own medicine, see how they like it. They'll probably cry about it, to be honest with you. But then again, the media, the mainstream media, which is not picking up to this much at all, they're like sweeping it under the rug, sort of. They're not really reporting much on it. Show up to his house though and knock on his door, and then they'll act like all hell is broken loose, and they won't stop reporting it and talk about the dangers of Trump supporters and right wing extremists and all this nonsense. Meanwhile, Antifa can literally like set fire to your university or some shit like that, and they just don't give a shit. It's no big deal to the left. So, it's been unbalanced since the very beginning. There's literally nothing we can do. Our hands are constantly being tied behind our back by the left. And that's why at some point we have to say, fuck it, the gloves is off, and we're going in for the kill. And that's it. And it's over with. We're not playing games anymore. If you're not going to treat any of this fairly, then we just don't give a shit. We don't care, and we're going to just shut you down physically at any chance that we get. So, all right, let me know how you feel about this video, and I'll see you guys next time.